Hi friends, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you're new. Today I wanted to show you how to make this very easy and simple granny square Kindle sleeve. It doesn't have to be just for a Kindle either. This is just the size that I made for a Kindle Color Soft, but you can make it as big or as small as you would like. It's super customizable. You can do it in as many or as little colors as you want. You can do it with a button, or you can just have a regular tie. There's lots of really fun customization things you can do with this. Like I mentioned, this is super simple, super easy, super beginner friendly. So if you wanted to do something and my other book sleeves look a little bit intimidating, this is a great place to start. But I hope that you're excited, and let's go ahead and get started. Really quickly, I wanted to give a little heads up. I injured my poor thumb this morning before filming, and so you will see this ugly little band-aid on my thumb. I also can't really bend it. So just a heads up, everything should be fine, but I wanted you to be aware, and I apologize for that. For your materials, you will need some yarn. I'm using a weight for 100% acrylic yarn. I also will be using a total of 6 colors. You can use as many or as little of colors that you want for this, but I'm going to be doing 6. You can also use any type of yarn. This is what I have on hand. I have a ton of this, so I'm going to use this up. You will also need a 5mm hook, a yarn needle. Optionally, you can also have a button. I'm using, these are between 25mm and 28mm buttons. I'm going to be using one of these for this, but you don't have to use a button. You can just do a little tie, totally up to your preference. And a pair of scissors. And let's go ahead and get started. For round 1, we are going to start with our first color, and we're going to make a magic ring. So to do that, you're going to take the end of your yarn, place it between your ring finger and your middle finger, wrap it around. You're going to make an X facing you. You'll turn your hand so that you have parallel lines. Go ahead and grab your hook, go under the first line, grab the second line and pull that through. Go ahead and turn your hand. Then you'll want to grab all of the yarn here. So go ahead and grab that, and then you can slip your fingers right off, and that is your magic ring. Once you've done that, go ahead and chain 3. And this counts as your first double crochet. So now we are going to place 2 double crochet into the magic ring. So a double crochet is yarn over, insert your hook into the magic ring, yarn over, pull through. You'll have 3 loops on the hook. Yarn over, pull through 2 loops. You'll have 2 loops on the hook. Yarn over, pull through 2. Then we'll do that one more time. Yarn over, insert your hook into the magic ring, yarn over, pull through, 3 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through 2, 2 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through 2. So you should now have your chain 3, which counts as a double crochet, and then 2 more double crochet, which makes a 3 double crochet cluster. Once you've done that, go ahead and chain 2. Then we are going to place 3 double crochet into the magic ring. So go ahead and place your 3 double crochet. Once you've done that, go ahead and chain 2. And you're going to repeat that 2 more times. So you'll place 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet, chain 2 to finish off, and you will have 4 3 double crochet clusters. So go ahead and do that 2 more times, and I will meet you back once you've done that. So I've gone ahead and finished off my last 2 clusters here. So now you can see that I have 4 3 double crochet clusters. So don't forget at this last one to do your chain 2. And once you've done that, go ahead and find the top of your chain 3. So the 3rd chain of your chain 3, and place a slip stitch to join. Then go ahead and, if you are changing colors, fasten off and tighten the whole of your magic ring. Then go ahead and weave in your ends, and that is round 1. For round 2, you're going to go ahead and grab your new color, and then into any of the chain 2 spaces, we are going to attach our new color. Once you've attached your new color, go ahead and chain 3. And this counts as your first double crochet. Now into the same space, that chain 2 here, we're going to place 2 more double crochets. Then go ahead and chain 2. And into the same space, so the same chain 2 space, place 3 double crochets. So now into that space, you should have your chain 3, which counts as a double crochet, 2 more double crochet for a total of 3, chain 2, and then 3 double crochet all into that space. Then you're going to go ahead and go into the next chain 2 space, and you will place 3 double crochet, then chain 2, and place 3 more double crochet into that same space. So in that space, you should have 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet. And you're going to repeat what you did there in your last 2 chain 2 spaces. So go ahead and do that, and I will meet you back once you've done it. Once you've gone all the way around, you'll be back at the beginning. And just like before, we're going to find that chain 3 from the beginning. The top of that chain, we are going to slip stitch to join. So go ahead and place your slip stitch. And then go ahead and fasten off and weave in your ends. And that is round 2. For round 3, go ahead and take your new color and attach it into any of the chain 2 spaces. Once you've done that, go ahead and chain 3, which counts as your first double crochet. And just like before, go ahead and place 2 more double crochet into that space. And since that chain 3 counts as our first double crochet, we now have 3 double crochets. Then we will chain 2, and into the same space, place 3 more double crochets. Next, we are going to go into this space in the middle here, and we're going to place 3 double crochets. Then we're going to hop over into the next chain 2 space, and into this space we're going to place 3 double crochets, then chain 2, and place 3 more double crochets into that same space. So you're just going to repeat that, where you'll place 3 double crochet into that middle space, and then into the corner spaces, you'll place 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet, all the way around until you get back to the beginning, and I will meet you back at the beginning here. Once you've gone all the way around, just like before, find your chain 3 from the beginning, and go ahead and place a slip stitch into the top of that chain 3. And go ahead and fasten off and weave in your ends. And that is round 3. For round 4, go ahead and take your new color and attach it into a chain 2 corner space. Once you've done that, go ahead and chain 3, which counts as your first double crochet, and then into that same space, place 2 double crochets. Then go ahead and chain 2, and place 3 more double crochets into that same space. So your corner space should have that chain 3, which counts as a double crochet, and then 2 more double crochets, which equals 3 double crochets, chain 2, and then 3 more double crochets. Then we're going to go into the next space here, right in the middle, place 3 double crochets into that space. We're going to go into the next space right here and place 3 double crochets into that space. And now you should be at your next corner space here. And into that corner, you will place 3 double crochets, then chain 2, and place 3 more double crochets into that space. Now you're just going to repeat all of that, where in the spaces in between your corners, you'll place 3 double crochets, and then into the corners, you will place 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet, all the way around until you get back to the beginning here. You'll meet back at this space here right before the beginning, and I will meet you back there. Once you've gone all the way around, you'll find your chain 3 from the beginning, find the top of that, and then slip stitch to join. Then go ahead and fasten off and weave in your ends. And that is round 4. Once you've done that row, you are just going to repeat that same thing over and over, where you are going to attach your new color into a chain 2 space, do your normal 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet into your space here, and then into every space in between your corners, you will do 3 double crochet. Into every corner, you will do 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet. And you're just going to repeat that all the way around over and over until you get your desired size. I'm currently making a Kindle sleeve specifically for like a color soft, and I will be doing a total of 12 rounds. But you can do as many or as little as you want, but go ahead and just repeat that over and over. I will leave the written instructions right here for you so that you can look back, you can pause, and you can go ahead and work that up. But go ahead and do that until you get your desired size, and I will meet you back at the end to show you how to attach it together. Once you've done as many rounds as you need, go ahead and block this however you like. I just did a steam block, but you can do whatever you like. If you need to know how to block things, I have a whole video on that. Check it out on my channel. It's how to block your pieces. But go ahead and do that, and then we'll move on to the next step. Once you have blocked your piece, go ahead and find the wrong side of your work, and we are going to face that up. Now we are going to attach our sides together to make this into a little pouch. So basically we're going to be folding in 3 of the corners and attaching them all in the middle and down the sides here. So we're first going to start with one side. We're going to take 2 of the corners with the wrong sides touching, fold them together, and then go ahead and thread your needle with whatever color you want to use to attach this together. I'm using the same color, but you can use whatever color since we are doing the mattress stitch. I have a whole video explaining how to do the mattress stitch if you would like to go watch that. This is going to be a little bit of a quicker version, but you're going to go ahead and start with the piece that's closest to you and find your chain 2 space. Go ahead and take your needle and go under the first chain of the back loop, and then you're going to swing your needle around and go under the back loop of the second chain. Go ahead and pull your yarn through, not all the way. And then again, going from right to left, under that first back loop, through the second back loop again. I'm going to hold down that loose end and then pull this through, and that just is going to secure our working yarn. So now we're going to take our second piece here and find our chain 2 space. So we have our 2 chains. We're going to go into the one on the left, and we're going to go under the back loop and then under the back loop of the next stitch, and we will pull that through. You don't have to pull it all the way through yet. Then we're going to go back to our first piece. We're going to find the back loop that we're coming out of, so that second chain here. We're going to go under that back loop and then under the back loop of the next stitch. And again, we're going to pull that through. You don't have to pull it through all the way. I'll show you what to do once we do a few more. Then again, we're going to go into that next piece, that top piece here. We're going to go under the same back loop that has our working yarn in it. Go under that back loop and then under the back loop of the next stitch and go ahead and pull that through. Then again, working on our other piece, go under the back loop of our last stitch that has the working yarn in it, and then go under the back loop of the next stitch. So go ahead and do that a couple of more times, just going back and forth, making sure you're always going into the back loops. Once you've gone a few stitches in, go ahead and start pulling on your working yarn here. You might have to hold on to the other side just to keep it from folding, but if you pull on that, that's just going to cinch it right up and creates an invisible join. Once you make it really tight, it might be kind of hard to see where you need to go into next, but you can pull it apart a little bit so you can see, and then continue just going under the back loops, back and forth all the way down to the bottom corner here, and I will meet you back here and show you what to do. Once you've gone all the way down, your piece should look like this, and you're just going to tie off on the bottom here. I just like to do a little knot. It might even be good to do a double knot just to be sure. Once you've done your knot, go ahead and weave your working yarn through that bottom all the way onto the inside. And this is where you can go ahead and just weave in your ends. And make sure to weave in your end at the top too. Once you have done one side, go ahead and do the same thing for one more side, making sure that it connects in the middle, following that same thing with the very beginning with our chain 2, going all the way down and then fastening off at the end here. So go ahead and do that, and I will meet you back once you've done that. Once you've done that, your piece should look like this. And I like to go into this middle part here and just sew it up. So you can also go ahead and do that as well. But I just like to go through and grab a few stitches in a circle. And this is just to make it look a little bit nicer. And once you've done that, go ahead and weave in any ends that you have left, and I will show you how to sew on a button. If you are sewing on a button, this is a great time to go ahead and place your Kindle into this to make sure that you can fold over and have enough room. But go ahead and fold over and find out where you need to have your button placed. I like to put my button through this very corner chain 2 space. So I just like to see where I want that to be. And then once I find that spot, I'll place my button. And then I'm just going to attach my button just like you would for any other type of button attaching. Once I get it where I want it to be, I like to do a little double knot in the back to secure it, just so it makes it easier to weave through and it's not moving around all over the place. And at this point, I would go through this a couple more times just to super secure it, weave in my ends, and then you would be done. If you didn't want to use a button, you could also just make a really long chain and then attach it going through that chain 2 space here. And then you can just wrap it around like that if you would like. And that's it. I hope that you guys enjoyed this one. It is super easy. It's just one big old granny square, but I really love this one. You can make it as big or as small as you really need it, which is really nice as well. But I hope that you enjoyed. Go ahead and leave a comment down below letting me know what you thought. And if you haven't already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and then hit the bell icon so that you are notified whenever I have a new video coming out. If you want to keep up to date on all of the things that I'm working on or any new patterns coming out, go ahead and check me out on Instagram. All of that will be linked down below. If you liked this video, like it. If you dislike it, dislike it. And I will see you all in the next one. Bye everyone.